Happy April Fool's Day, everyone! Which brings us to the first of an ongoing segment by the Confused Greenies of Players Patchwork Theater Company called Wardrobe Wednesdays. Why? Well, we're stuck here. We're stuck in the house which happens to have the wardrobe for the Confused Greenies of Players Patchwork Theater Company. And since we can't be out there doing plays for you, we thought we'd start taking a look inside and show off some of the interesting and amazing costumes that Players Patchwork Theater Company has acquired over the years. And luckily, because we often use stock characters, and because we are a home troupe of people together, many of these costumes will see many different shows. Some of them we've even created entirely new plays for, just because we were inspired by a costume piece we already had. We decided to do the first Wardrobe Wednesday on April 1st, because it is April Fool's Day, and so we will celebrate the greatest fool of commedia dell'arte, the most famous character from commedia dell'arte. For if you do not know, commedia dell'arte is what we in the Confused Greenies do best. It's the root of everything that we do. It is a form of farcical theater from the Italian Renaissance that involves stock characters, masks, and is semi-improvisational. And the most famous character of all of these fools is, of course, Arlecchino, who you may know better by his descendant, Harlequin. Arlecchino is recognized by the patchwork that he wears, an outfit that is basically a white base full of multicolored patches. And this patchwork has become a symbol for commedia dell'arte, and especially for our troupe. You might have guessed, Players Patchwork Theater Company. So we thought today would be a good time to start with the patchwork jacket of Arlecchino that we have in the troupe. Except, slight problem, which is very appropriate considering what date it is, because that jacket's not here. We're all practicing social distancing. Everyone should be practicing social distancing if you can. But that also means is that our troupe is practicing social distancing. To be able to still put on shows, at least virtual shows online, we had to separate some of the costumes. So some of our costumes happen to be across town right now, which includes the Arlecchino jacket. We still decided we're going to go ahead with this because it's April Fool's Day, and we want to talk about that. As I said, historically Arlecchino is known for wearing patches, multicolored patches, on his chest, his back, his arms, sometimes his legs, sometimes even a hat. Why? Well, no one really knows for sure. There's an apocryphal story that we love to share. It is probably not true, but it is just a fun idea, and it really does help symbolize who Arlecchino is. There is a tradition that around the holidays, the Christmas holidays, the 12 nights of Christmas, that the masters of the house would, when they were getting brand new clothing, the latest fashion of the season, they would give their old clothing to their servants. And their servants would take it because it was great for them, but still now too threadbare and too out of season for their masters. So the theory comes, though, is that Arlecchino, who is a fool, would take these new outfits that he was given, these expensive, great outfits, cut them into pieces, and use the different colors to patch up his ratty old tunic. Can't say for sure. That's probably, as I said, not an accurate representation of history, but it's fun, and that is definitely something that Arlecchino would do in a play. As time went on, those patches would actually become more colorful until they became the lozenges, the triangles, and the diamonds that you see in a lot of harlequin and clown motif today. But we go back to the traditional, we go back to the 16th century, we go back to the random and spotty patchwork of Arlecchino. And it's very appropriate for us because the Arlecchino costume was one of the first costumes that Players Patchwork Theater Company ever had commissioned. For you see, when we started off doing this, we didn't have many costumes. We started back in April 25th, 2006. Our 14th birthday is coming up soon. But at the time we had some Renaissance costumes and we had some medieval costumes because many of our members are part of the Society for Creative Anachronism, but we didn't have specifically commedia costumes. Our earliest productions outside of the SCA were sort of modern adaptations so we could get away with it. But if we were going to do SCA shows, we needed some more proper commedia costumes. We needed something that was iconic. Well, we needed an Arlecchino costume. Luckily, at the time, I happened to have been roommates with a great seamstress by the name of Gina Hong, or aka The Cat. She had already made several costumes for me, and she had made several pieces of garb for the SCA, and I asked, and she was willing to go ahead and make an Arlecchino jacket. Ours is actually rather unique. Most Arlecchino costumes, they seem to be one solid tunic piece. We decided to make ours with ties down the front, specifically to facilitate quick changes. And it could be worn open, it could be worn closed, Arlecchino could mess up how it's tied, but this has led to a lot of versatility. And this Arlecchino jacket, we still use it today. It is the only period jacket the troupe has. We've had several members of the troupe with their own Arlecchino costumes who have brought them into various plays. But this still stands as the only historical Arlecchino costume we have, which again is also going on 14 years old. And it's seen so many plays because Arlecchino is one of our most used characters. It has gone through a lot of stress, a lot of pratfalls, a lot of foolishness, but it still stands today. And we love that outfit. There's several other outfits in the troupe that are somewhat inspired by it, hence all the patchwork that you see in the troupe. So while we're here, I already mentioned that the creator of our Arlecchino jacket back in 2006 was Gina Hong. She has made other outfits that have been seen in the troupe, even if they were not made for the troupe. Gina was also a member of the CWRU Medieval Society, a sort of branch of the SCA, as well as Voyeuristic Intentions, the Rocky Horror live shadow cast that was also at Case Western Reserve University. Both these groups, for those of you who know the history of the troupe, actually helped form the Confused Greenies. There was a lot of overlap in membership and a lot of inspiration that sort of led to where we are today. But a lot of her work can still be seen here today. In the first period style play that the Confused Greenies ever did, back in 2008, we didn't have proper Renaissance costumes yet, so we were basically using SCA garb. Both the dress for the Amorosa and for the Servetta were dresses that Gina had made for the SCA. The troupe's first musical parody was in 2009, and that was the Rocky Horror Commedia show. And you can probably guess what that was like. But of course, we had a lot of our own motif of patchwork costumes and parodies, but we needed somebody who could really mimic our parody of Dr. Frankenfurter, or in our case, Capitano Frankfurone. So we needed a Frankenfurter costume, and luckily we happened to have the one that Gina had made for a Frankenfurter in Voyeuristic Intentions. And you can catch Arlecchino and his patchwork jacket this weekend for the Confused Greenies of Players Patchwork Theater Company. We'll be presenting for you a virtual production of The Hazards of Hunting Redcaps, one of our favorite commedia dell'arte plays that we have adapted to do as a video conference call in these times. And Arlecchino won't just be wearing his traditional patchwork, he'll also be wearing a radically other patchwork outfit because, well, the tagline for this play is it's a very funny farce. So definitely check back on our social media sites this weekend to find The Hazards of Hunting Redcaps. Well, and that about wraps up our first Wardrobe Wednesday. But I want to leave something here, and this part's not foolish. There's nothing foolish about this. The aforementioned Gina, she currently is a medical doctor. And that means she is on the front lines of what's happening out there. And all the medical community, they need our help. They need whatever we can do, and mostly what we can do right now is stay inside, is to social distance, is to stay at home, only go out when you need to. It's the best way to make her next few weeks as easy as possible. They're not going to be easy, but she and the countless other medical professionals and first responders and everyone else out there, stay at home. Find something fun to do. Make a random video of your costume collection. Write a play. Do plays online. Play games. Talk with your friends. Read a book. Learn a craft. Go outside in your garden. But let's just make it easier for people like Gina and all the other doctors, nurses, paramedics, countless others out there. Because we like to dress up and pretend that we're somebody, we're heroes, we're doers, we're movers, we're shakers, and maybe we are, but they definitely are. And right now, their masks are a lot more important than ours. and they need all the help they can get. So our future videos will probably not end on a message like this, but we may be fools in Players Patchwork Theater Company, but we care about the world, we care about you, we care about the future, and we care about fun and laughter. Because laughter, it's not the only medicine, there's lots better ones out there, but laughter is still good medicine. So laugh while you learn, and learn while you laugh.